Anybody could hear me? I cleared up my data and the cache.
Yeah, I cleared both as well.
Yeah, masterpiece. Jordan, you hear us? Put a 1 if you hear us. Good. Brenda, we do we sound like chipmunks now or no? I cleared it
I don't
up.
know.
God, they're saying it's clear now.
Well, hopefully it is. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if the cachet thing is the problem or not. I have no idea, but I mean, when you got at least 4 or 5 people making the same complaint, then obviously there's an issue somewhere. So, yeah.
All right. I
Yeah,
found what we were looking
we'll
for.
just we're looking for
Yeah, I found it.
Satan, the Antichrist getting injured.
Right.
No more Alvin and the Chickmunks. Lori's like, hey, I like the Alvin and the Chickmunks, but
Mm.
not on a live for 2 hours. Probably drive somebody nuts.
It's like listening to their Christmas album for like
Yeah.
4 hours.
Yeah, absolutely. Perplexing. What's going on? What's on your mind?
Hey, mates. Who doesn't love a nice Christmas carol, yeah?
Ah, man. Ain't no Chickmunk Christmas Carol.
Ain't nothing like it.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%, man. Where you from? You from down under?
No, mate.
From down under.
Yeah. Originally, I'm from England, but I'm currently living in Canada.
Oh, well, then I guess my accent device is really failed.
Definitely
I was about
broken.
to start asking you if you. I was about to start asking you if you own a kangaroo.
Nah, you're not allowed to own them there.
That's ridiculous. What? Ain't they everywhere?
Right. Yeah, they're free.
Can't you just put? What if you just put one in your backyard and say, I don't know how it got there. It's just there.
It'll give you a drop kick and probably jump over
I
the
know.
fence.
That's all I was about to say. I'd love to see try to own a kangaroo. Give
No,
fun.
I'd have to get a
It'd be one of those
bro. I'd have to
videos.
get a miniature one. No, I'd have to
Yeah,
get a miniature one, bro.
those
I couldn't
things
get
are
a full.
huge.
Yeah, bro. I couldn't get a full grown one, bro. Hey, matter of fact, if I ended up getting a full grown one, I'd end up going to jail for animal abuse, bro, because that thing would be manhandling me any chance that it got, and I'd have to whoop the tar out of it. I end up going to jail. So I had to get one of those like miniature ones, like freaking 2 feet tall, maybe 3 feet tall. That's about it.
So you could punt it.
Let's be real, mate. It'd be the kangaroo going to jail for animal abuse.
For human
Exactly,
abuse.
bro. That's why they could go to jail for human abuse, man. Be the first kangaroo in history to be in prison with men. Like, nah, bro. You're gonna be mistreating our humans around here, man. Yeah. All right, so let me see. Flip, you got it or what, bro?
I got it.
DJ's got it. He go back and forth from his phone.
Aight.
All right. So the KJV says deadly wound, not fatal, but that's all right.
So what's the Greek word being used there?
Yeah. So the Greek word is thanatos.
All right, what does it mean?
It means an adjective used as a death, figuratively or literally.
Okay. What else?
So then it says pestilence, also for pestilence, And properly the death of the body, that separation, whether natural or violent, of the soul from the
Right.
body.
So far, it has told us twice that it's talking about a death, right?
Yep.
All right. So can we conclude that that word pretty much means what it means?
Yep.
Pretty
No.
much, right? Okay. All right. So it pretty much means what it means. Pretty much. Okay. So read it. So CJ or Flip, go ahead and read it again. What does it say? That one of the heads what?
One of his heads is, and I saw one of his heads as if had been mortally wounded.
Okay. And then what?
And then his deadly wound was healed.
Oh, his deadly wound was healed. So the wound is deadly.
It doesn't mean
Yes.
he's dead. He didn't die.
Right, but it says the deadly wound is healed. That's what
Yeah.
it says, healed, right? Healed.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Read the verse after that, Flip.
So they worshiped the dragon who gave authority to the beast. And they worshiped
Okay.
the beast, saying, Who is like the beast? Who is able
Keep
to
going.
make war with him?
Keep going. I'll tell you when to stop. Keep going.
All right. And he was given a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies. And he was given authority to continue for 42 months. Then he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God, to blaspheme his name, his tabernacle, and those who dwell in heaven. It was granted to him to make war with the saints and overcome them. And authority was given him over every tribe, tongue, and nation. All who dwell on the earth will worship him, whose names have not been written in the book of life, or of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. Oh, wow. And if anyone has an ear, let him hear. He who leads captivity shall go into captivity. He who kills with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
Amen.
Okay. Okay, so there was a fatal death to a head. And then what does it say right after that? How's it work?
It was healed. It was healed.
It was
deadly
healed,
wound.
right? Okay.
Yep.
And there's another, oh man, I don't want to go all the way through there. Okay, so there's another part in there that talks about this too, and I'm not going to go through that, but let me say this. Let me say this. Jesus has already crushed the head, guys.
Yes.
Is he the dragon?
Well, that's not what I'm getting to. I'm saying that the head has already been crushed.
That's
So
the
now the
moon getting
question.
crushed.
So now the question is this: how did it get healed? That's the question.
The dragon.
Okay, we can say that. We can say it's the dragon.
Who is the
We
dragon?
can say that. Well, again, I'm not going to go over who the dragon is. We're not going to talk about Revelation for 3 hours. Okay, it's just a point that I always miss, or when I hear people talk about this, they miss this important part. So there was a head injury, and then there was a reviving, a healing that took place. And let me just say this, out of everything that I've heard on TikTok, I've not heard one person answer correctly how the healing took place. I haven't heard that.
The dragon.
Not yet. Well, you can say that. You can say that. We can say it was the dragon. We can say that, but what verse would lead someone to believe that the dragon healed it?
Yeah, you'd have to read it again, but that's what I interpreted.
Well, yeah, okay. I'll just say this. The rest of the Bible has to be used to get the answer. The answer to how this head was healed is not in the book of Revelation.
Not at all.
No way you think. So, but I still ain't heard one person show me in the Bible how this head was healed.
You know how
I
there's that
haven't
verse
seen
in
it.
the Bible that says that they heal in my name, and remember when the disciples were a little upset because they were doing things in the name of Jesus and healing, and Jesus said, "Just leave them. We know it's not of God." So we know that
Okay,
there's
what about it?
something. Well, there's something else out there that has power to heal, and we know that Satan has power to heal. So he healed himself.
No,
No?
no, absolutely not. Nope,
Okay.
not even close. Nope. Nope. No, no, no.
I think the
So who
100%
dragon is
healed
not.
him?
God.
Do what?
I think the dragon is God, and God healed
Well,
Satan.
we can say it's the leprechaun. I mean, anybody, everybody has their own mind, right? To choose what they believe anything is in the Bible, right? So,
Exactly.
so there's people that's going to say the dragon's God. There's going to be people that says that the dragon is Satan. There's going to be people that says the dragon's not even real. I mean, everybody has their own choice on how they interpret what it says, but you become a fool when you argue with them. What's the point of arguing? If I'm holding a pen and it's blue and someone says, no, it's red, you become a fool. You sit there and argue with someone that's trying to tell you what color the pen is, and you're the one that has it in your hand, right? So everybody, let me ask you this, perplexing, Jesus.
Say that
Sorry,
again.
what
You
is
broke
this?
up.
Yeah, who is Jesus? Perplexing.
Okay.
I think he is. I don't think he was mentioned there. I think he is the people. This was a battle between.
Mention where? Hold on. Perplexing. Mention where?
I just felt the presence. So how the beast.
I'm saying no. I'm saying no. Listen, when you said he's not mentioned there, what are you talking about? He's not mentioned where?
In the verses that whichever man was just.
I'm not talking. I'm not talking about those verses. I'm asking you, who was Jesus?
He was a man.
Was he a man, prophet, a god? What? He was just a man.
He was one of the most inspiring, holy men that ever lived, if not the most.
Okay, so some people say he was a holy man. So some people say he was a holy man. Some people say that he was a prophet. Some people say he was God. Hey, perplexing. What do you think the reason is that nobody can come to an agreement when it like the totality? Like, why is it that the majority can't come into an agreement on who this man was? Why is there so many debates and arguments? What would you say?
Because nobody can truly confirm or
Now,
deny.
let me ask you this. So let me ask you this. Do you think it's possible for at least one person on the earth to know who he is? Like 100%? No, there's no way.
There's no way that
no way.
anyone can know.
Okay, so that means everybody's wrong.
No, it doesn't.
No, so then who's right then?
Somebody who has an opinion but doesn't know if it's right or not. But it's
Okay, so
the right
basically,
opinion.
all right, so therefore, how do you know anything is true if we don't know how to prove that someone is telling the? So what you're saying is you can't prove they're telling the truth, right? You can't prove it.
Right, we
Is that what you're
can't
saying?
prove that they're right about what they believe or think.
Okay, so what can you prove? Anything? I don't care what it is in this world. What can you prove to someone that is true? I don't care what it is. What can you prove?
I guess the only thing we can prove is what is right in front of us.
Like what? Give me an example. Like what?
Well, if I went on camera right now, I could prove to you that I am touching my nose right now.
Okay, so you're saying that the only thing that we can prove is what our five senses can pick up. So if we can see it, taste it, hear it, feel it, touch it, like if we can feel it, so if we use our five senses, then we can prove it. Is that what you're saying?
We can prove
beyond-
that we, sense it, but we can't prove that what we sense is the truth to what is being, stated.
No, exactly. But yeah, exactly. But the point is, what you're saying is the closest we can get is with our five senses. That's what you're saying.
To prove to somebody else, yes.
Yeah. So like if you said, if I open my camera, that means you're relying on my eyes, right? What I can physically see.
Yes.
And then you said, and then I'm going to touch my nose, right? Then I'm going to touch my nose. And I'm like, okay, so if you're a real person and I meet you, and I touch you with my finger, then I'm using my senses, my physical senses to determine, yeah, this person is this is real right here. This person is real. That's what you're saying? Right.
Yeah.
So now the question is there anything beyond the five senses? Is a spirit real? Is that real? Are those things real? Spiritual things?
Yeah. So the cool thing about one of our senses, well, maybe more, but our sense of feel is actually like multi-layered. So there's like the physical feel, and then there's like the more emotional feel, and you could even say like spiritual. And those are
okay. So you could feel. So a person can feel the spirit.
Yeah.
With their body, they could really. Now, how do you prove that? How do you prove that?
You can't prove it.
Right. Okay. There you go. So that right there is the whole point of the conversation. There are things that are real that you can't prove. So that's why when people say, "Oh, well, Jesus is a man," no, he's God, and no, there's if there are things that are real and you prove it, right? It doesn't mean it's not real. It just means that the person you're talking to doesn't believe it, or they don't want to believe it, or any of that, right? So like earlier when you were like, "Oh, well, the dragon's God," and then you'll have somebody else say, "Nuh-uh, it's something else," and it doesn't matter what the other thing they name. There's already a disagreement. Like we're already not coming into agreement what certain things are in the Bible.
Yeah,
and,
that's just what I feel.
Well, I mean, whatever the reasoning is, whether you feel it or just believe it or whatever, a person can easily become a fool when they think it's okay to sit there and argue about the boogeyman. Like it's not okay. Like you literally become not you, but figuratively a person. You become a fool when you think that it's just okay to sit there and argue about what another person's opinion is. Now, there's nothing wrong to have a short discussion within a circle or two, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm telling you, it can get to a point where it's nobody no good, like not even a little bit, right? So, but I will say this. I'll say this. And I still ain't heard not one person answer it correctly, and I'll just throw it out there. So we know the black letters on a white page say that there was a fatal wound, right? But it was healed. And I'll just say this. There's only one that crushes a head. There's only one in the Bible that crushes a head. And your job is to figure out who's doing the crushing, what is used to do the crushing, and whose head is getting crushed. And so when you turn that into 2 or 3 different heads getting crushed, or 2 or 3 different people crushing heads, when you're not paying attention and understanding what you're reading, then now the idea is the possibilities are endless. It could be anybody's it could be anybody's head. It could be anybody that's crushing their head. No. There's a head that's going to be crushed. There is an individual that's going to be doing the crushing. There's a certain object that's used to do the crushing. But the question remains, how is it healed? That's the question. And I'm not giving the answer. I just find it very laughable that I can't find anyone to answer the. And I don't mean just throw an answer out there. Back it up and show how you know how this healing took place. There's people that talk about Revelation every day for 3 hours, and you would have figured by now that they would know the answer to this, and it's vital to a lot of things that's taking place in the book of Revelation. The problem is they're not finding the answer in the Old Testament. And because they're not truly finding the answer, they're just sitting around just throwing ideas out for freaking 5 hours a day, for no purpose.
I think it's healed the same way that it's able to be crushed.
Well, again, that's what some people say, right? Right? I mean, that there is a category of people that say that. That is a answer, right? That is one of the answers that people give. Just like, who is Jesus? People are going to say, oh, he was just a really cool dude. He wore sunglasses at night. Oh, okay. Who else was he? Oh, well, no, he wasn't. They didn't even have sunglasses back then, man. He was a prophet. I mean, the argument never stops. The argument will never stop. It will never end, that argument right there, because people use only what they have to determine what is true. They only use what they have.
What do you believe?
So, well, I don't think it matters what I believe.
Matters to me.
It doesn't matter what I believe. Well, it might matter to you, but, I'll put it this way. Everybody has an opportunity to pick up a Bible and read it. Everybody. So, if a person believes the answer is in there, then you should be able to find it. Period. So, if everybody had a Bible or a means to getting one, and you should be able to read it, and you should be able to find the answer. It's really quite simple. The answer's there. The answer is there. But true. The problem is, and again, it's nobody's personal fault unless you're purposely being lazy and you're not reading the Bible. I'll just say this: there's too many people that are lying to others, saying that they're very familiar with the Bible, but they're not. That's the problem right there. They tell people that they may not use the words, I'm very familiar with the Bible. They may not say that, but that's exactly what they're saying when they start talking about subjects. And if they were familiar with the Bible as they claim, there'd be a lot more understanding on their end. And so I say that a lot because it's so easy. If a person came up to you and they said that they understood division, and you gave them 2 or 3 very simple problems, mathematical equations when it comes to division, and they don't get none of them right, but yet they're sitting there telling you they understand division. See, the idea is we can all have opinions. Nobody knows the truth. And so because of that, we can all say whatever we want. Well, I will say this. There is a truth. Your job is to find out what that is, because arguing with people and telling them, well, you don't know, and then they turn around and tell you, oh, well, you don't know either. So nobody knows nothing now. But so watch this. True. Nobody knows nothing, but we're going to argue about what we know. So if nobody really knows, why would anyone argue about what they think is true when you say, well, nobody knows what's true. So if nobody knows what's true, then even you, whoever you are, why should anyone listen to you? Because nothing's true. We don't know. We don't know if it's true or not. So what would be the point of arguing for 4 hours about your opinion if what you're saying is not true to begin with? Right? So there is a truth, and that is.
We already found that.
Again, I'll say it again. Everybody has an opportunity, especially if you live in America. You do have an opportunity to get a Bible. There are plenty of ways to get one. And I even know churches that give away Strong's Concordance, so you can look up the Greek and the Hebrew if you have to. There are means to getting tools so you can study these things out. And so the idea is either nothing is true or the truth is there, and there just needs to be some studying, right? So let's see. All right, I think we talked about that long enough. I'm hoping that chicken strip finds somebody wherever it needs to find them. Huh?
I just want to say thanks, Flip.
Yeah. So I'm not sure. we might talk about it tomorrow. I don't know, but I think we need to go over, because we just talked about spirit, soul, and body a few days ago. Like literally, we had a trinity. We had a triune day. we had a Trinity spirit, soul, and body event. So I think today, we could probably start on it today. Let me see. I don't know. But if we do, we do. If not, we could start tomorrow on harnessing emotions. We went over this several months ago, and I had people asking me, hey, when you say harnessing emotions, like, what are you talking about? And I asked them, how long they've been on the live, and some people's only been on here a couple of months. And so it doesn't mean that just because we have it uploaded on YouTube or something, it doesn't mean that we won't talk about it again. I think it's vital 100% because it goes along with spirit, soul, and body. Every individual is supposed to, like, it is vital for you to understand that you're a 3-part being, and you need to understand which part is the real you, which part is the perfect you, and which part is the waiting to be glorified. You need to understand the difference. And with that being said, you need to understand why you're a 3-part being. You need to understand what part of you came from the first Adam, what part of you came from the last Adam. Those things need to be understood, man. They're vital. It is literally, I'm telling you, it will revolutionize your life if you can understand that you are a 3-part being, a spirit, soul, and the body. It would literally change your entire outlook on the Bible, and it will change your entire outlook on how do you approach people with the Bible, because you know who you're speaking to when you're speaking, because the words that you're choosing to use is directed to one of the 3 that the people is or / are. So when Dre said, and I know he's just being funny. He's like, man, Trot is he's just using the frame GOAT, man, because we say that a lot when it comes to sports. He's just being silly. All he's saying is that he was present and he saw it took place, a revival, a true revival that the Bible talks about. But because it wasn't on the news, then it never happened, but he was there. He witnessed. What's up?
Hey, you guys had a three-day live, like a three-time
Friday, I
live.
think. Yeah, Friday.
Oh, yeah, I was at a concert. I wasn't there. My bad.
Yeah. So, but Dre was there and he witnessed it. And the Bible always talks about witnesses, people that are witnessing these things occurring. Jesus said, these signs shall follow. They will open the eyes, the blind eyes, the deaf ears. If you don't understand what Dre was expressing or explaining, those were the blind eyes being open, the deaf ears being open. That's what happened. But see, everybody's rolling around in this world looking for physically blind people. And so if someone doesn't tell you that someone physically blind eyes were open, if they don't tell you that, well, then the eyes weren't open. You're missing it. You don't understand what you're reading. You have no clue what you're reading. There were eyes that were taken away in the Garden of Eden. And throughout the Bible, it is a constant finger pointing to the idea that eyes were going to be given back. Those eyes that were closed were going to be given back. And it even tells us who is going to give those eyes back. It even tells us how the eyes are going to be given back. But because you're not as familiar with the Bible as you claim, you don't understand what you're seeing. You don't understand what you're hearing, which means you yourself have to be descaled 100%. You need to be descaled so you can see and so you can hear. And so, that's what Dre was explaining what happened. But again, because it wasn't physical eyes that were open, you're not hearing what took place. Dre's family member, awesome person, been on the phone with her a couple of times, but her heart's amazing. I could tell, like, man, she's just an awesome person, 100%. But every one of us were blind with legalism at one time. because that is the good and evil. So everyone has been quote unquote blinded with that, meaning your eyes that are open, or the eyes that need to be open because that is all you can see is legalism. And so, we just kind of went through there, and we might have been on a phone for about, I don't know, maybe an hour or so, but there was no arguing. There was no, it really wasn't about debating. It was 100% apologetics. There was no circles. I don't think we went in circle one time, but you should use discernment. You should know when someone is really wanting to understand the Bible. You should know. And you should also know when someone just wants to argue like a bunch of fools. You need to be able to discern that. If you remember in the Bible, and it's no joke, in the Bible, how many times, let me see if any of y'all know, you don't have to know the exact answer, but you'll understand what I'm asking. How many times in the Bible does it say within the hour? Anybody know? Anybody?
A lot.
What happens with anytime the Bible says, and within the hour, what's usually happening within the hour?
The Holy Spirit appears.
Nobody can bring up one verse. Somebody bring up a verse that says, and within an hour, and then something's told to us after that, after the within the hour. Nobody knows? See? Not familiar with the Bible, man.
Yeah, but
It's a healing.
specifically, specifically within the hour.
Yes. Yeah, but the thing
Okay,
is, that it's a healing. It's
I
a
know what it
healing,
is.
guys.
I'm hold on, give me a second. So I'm dealing with my kid, but I heard
what
you.
is it? The
When you
centurion
think about like
at the centurion.
the centurion kid, like he was within the hour that the child was healed. I got to mute again.
Yeah,
Sorry.
but the question, Dre, is about how many times would you say that happens?
58.
The phrase within that 58.
I don't know. I told you yes.
Yeah.
Well,
But
it's
the point is it happens pretty often. Is the point? That's the point I'm making. It happens pretty often. So, Dre, from the time I started talking to your mom, just tell the truth. Did it happen within an hour?
Yeah, within an hour, bro. Within an hour.
Listen, guys. I'm telling you, when somebody is ready, and I'm going to use this phrase, level up like a video game. I'm going to use that phrase because all of us here should know what a video game is, okay? And if you never played one where you level up, Hebrews, bro, where have you been, buddy? We've been missing the jokes, man. Bro, I don't ever look at my screen. Ever. Like, I really don't. And I happen to look down, Dre or whoever, can somebody go to Matthew 24:36? I just want to see which one. I think I know which one that is, but can someone just look it up to see which one he's bringing up?
Yeah, I got you. 24:36. That says, but of that, oh my Lord. That says, but of that day and hour, no one knows. Not even the angels of heaven.
CJ, I
Yep.
guarantee you we would all be able to hear you if you stopped laughing, bro. What?
No, I'm sorry.
I
It
didn't hear
says,
nothing
but
you
of that
said.
day and hour, no one knows. Not even the angels of heaven, nor the Son, but the Father alone.
Okay, I'm sorry. What are you reading? My bad. Maybe I missed that.
That's Matthew 24:36.
Oh, I didn't know what you were reading. Okay, so you're reading Matthew 24. So nobody knows the day or the hour. Okay. Oh, okay. I see why he's bringing that up. Let's see. Jordan, read 4:12. Hebrews 4:12. Jordan, is that supposed to be Hebrews 4:12? Because the guy's name is Hebrews. So 4:12 what? Y'all are confusing me.
Ray, that's
why I need to quit.
his name, dude. His name is Hebrews 4:12.
That's his name.
Oh, he's just
He might
saying
be
hi to
fucking
him.
Matthew.
Okay, my bad. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so where's the verses? Just give me a couple of them that say within the hour. I was hoping somebody was looking one of them up. Yeah, my bad, Jordan, man. I'm sorry. I feel like I just need to stop looking at the screen, but
I got a
sometimes
couple
it's
for
cool.
you, bro. Let me see. After about, this is Luke 22:59. After about an hour had passed, another man begat to insist, saying, "Certainly this man also was with him, and he was a Galilean too." But that's about Peter. That's probably not
Yeah,
a real
what's
relevant one. Well, remember he told the disciples, "You can't stay up with me at least an hour."
No, I'm talking about the phrase
Healing, yeah,
within an hour. Okay.
yeah.
So
I
Luke
got you.
Luke 24:33 and 34 says, and within the hour they were on their way back to Jerusalem. There they found the 11 disciples and the others who had gathered with them, who said, "The Lord has really risen." He appeared to Peter.
And that was, well, okay, but
Luke
that was within
24.
an hour of what? Within an hour of what?
Jesus rising.
Here, 17:18 is probably that's the one I was talking about earlier. And Jesus rebuked the devil, and he departed out of him, and the child was cured from that very hour.
From that very hour. But it's
Yep.
it's everywhere, man. It's
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
in there a lot. And if you haven't learned by now that there are phrases that mean a lot more than you think, that are constantly shown to us in the Bible over and over. And for the past several months, you know, those things have been pointed out to you for a reason. They are constantly shown to you over and over. And clearly, it's because God knows that our little peanut brain that was given to us by the first Adam doesn't do us justice at all. So let me ask you this. How many people have realized that if you do something in repetitions, you get better at it? Have y'all not realized that, the way our brain is?
Yes.
100%, man.
Okay, so let me ask you this. You think God doesn't know? You think he
Of
don't know
course.
that? You don't think that by design he constantly is saying the same thing over and over? So that's just a coincidence too. You know what? When I started talking about this over 10 years ago, I should have wrote down every coincidence that's in the Bible. You know, there's a guy that I think he's a comedian. I just saw a small skit, and he was talking about the Bible, and he says he starts naming facts about the Bible, and he's like, "Does that mean the Bible's the Word of God?" He's like, "No." Then he names another fact. "Does that mean the Bible is the Word of God?" "No." "Does that mean you should listen to the Bible?" "No." But after he does about 5 or 6, he goes, No. He goes, "It just means it should be considered. It doesn't mean it is the Word of God." But he keeps doing this, and finally he goes, Is it the Word of God just because of this as well, or this also?" He goes, "No, but it's getting close."
Sounds like
he's
brainwashing.
Yeah, well, I mean, the term brainwash actually can be used to be bad, and it can use to be good,
True.
right? Because if you wash something, isn't it better clean or is it better dirty?
Well, it depends if it was cleaner before.
No, it can't be if it was dirty. So if I take something that's dirty, it has mud on it, okay? If you have mud on your shirt, do you wash it before you go to work, or do you leave it on there saying it's better with mud?
Well,
And I
what
am
about
talking
if
about if
you
you work in a, I am saying if you work in an office where there is an SOP, okay, standard of procedures that tell you that you can't have mud all over your shirt. The question would be, do you tell your boss, well, it's cleaner with mud on it, or do you listen to his instructions because you want to keep your job?
It depends what's on your cloth that you're washing with.
Well, again, it's mud and poop. Would you walk in that office with mud and poop on your shirt?
You
Yes
wash
or
it
no?
with soap.
No, but I wouldn't wash it with vomit on a washcloth either.
Exactly, because vomit will still have to be washed off. So I'm talking about with soap. Would you wash that poop off your clothes with soap? Yes
Yeah.
or no?
Yes.
Yeah, you would, right? Okay, so is that a bad washing or a good washing?
That's a good washing.
Okay, so obviously there is a bad washing and there is a good washing. But whose job is that to determine that? Is that your job or someone else's job?
It's mine.
That's right. It's yours. Your brain is your brain. So either you let someone wash it or you can wash it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Right. So again, going back to what I said, who is Jesus? Whatever you want him to be, right? Isn't it your choice what Jesus is?
Mm-hmm.
Is someone supposed to tell you who he is, or are you supposed to figure it out?
Figure it out.
All right, figure it out. So if you think you figure it out, do you go argue with people about it? About what you figured out?
You don't argue.
Right, you don't argue. So what do you do? Once you figure out who Jesus is, what do you do after that?
Well, you can show it off.
Tell the truth about him.
What if someone let's say that you claim that you figured out who this was. That's what you're claiming.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go tell someone else, in some weird way they come alive. Some weird way. And someone is saying that it's true, that this is what Jesus is. Were they brainwashed, or did they choose their self to see it that way?
Could be either or both. Neither
It could be.
or both.
It could be either. Okay, so you just told me that it's up to you to figure out.
For me personally.
You just told me that.
Yeah, but not
Okay,
everyone
so
knows that.
Exactly. But again, now we'd have to say that there are people in this world, we're talking about prudent, just normal, prudent people. I'm not talking about mentally ill people. So now we're going to have to say that there's nobody that can receive help to see something. So either someone can receive help to see a truth or not. We can't have it both ways. So if a person goes to school to learn something, are they being brainwashed, or are they taught truth about math? Let's say the teacher is a real teacher. The teacher has been proven to teach people math a lot. And you know that the teacher is a legit, instructor. Are you going to tell someone that they're brainwashing people by teaching them math? Is that brainwashing, or is that just telling them a truth? I'm talking about math. I'm talking about math.
Math is pretty factual, but there's other subjects that
Okay,
can
but
be brainwashed.
but either way, is it brainwashing?
In mathematics, I would say, well,
Yeah, in mathematics.
positively. Yeah, sure.
Okay, so if you teach someone a truth like math, you're brainwashing them. Is that what you're saying, bro? Or are you just telling them a truth?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's washing, because there may not be anything dirty there to begin with, but you're adding
Okay,
some
so
good
you're
stuff
just
to it.
There you go. You're telling them a truth. That's what adding is. Adding is giving someone that they can use. So it's a truth. So we can't have it both ways. We can't pick and choose what we're going to call telling someone a truth, teaching, and then, oh yeah, but this over here is brainwashing. You can't have it both ways. If it's true, it's true. But that comes back to believe. You don't have to believe it. If you don't believe something, it's not true to you. It doesn't make it not true just because you don't believe it. Right? So,
Yeah.
again.
People get brainwashed. It happens all the time.
Oh, no. I think you misunderstand. The idea is that people cannot get brainwashed in a bad way. That's not the idea. The idea is that all forms of brainwashing are bad. That's not true, because
I agree.
if you don't know math, yeah. So again, you know what it comes down to? What you want to believe. That's all it comes down to. If somebody can make you believe something that is not true, and you choose to believe that, That's your brain. That's your choice. So if that's what you want to believe, but the point is, you better make sure it's real. You better make sure it's real.
People aren't
So
that
if somebody's
smart.
trying to brainwash, huh?
People aren't that smart, and others take advantage of that.
Okay, so you're the only one in the world that's smart. So everybody else is dumb in the world.
Not everyone, but I would say
Exactly.
majority
Exactly.
are not that
Well,
smart.
okay. So like, if you were to say that the majority were dumb, I mean, in order to say something like that, bro, like, you'd have to be on this high horse that you're so smart and everybody else is so dumb. Now, you may not view it that way. I'm not saying you're doing that intentionally, but we have to be careful to say things like that, because what you see as dumb or slow or whatever could be nothing more than a person that's just very simple. There's nothing wrong with being simple. There's nothing wrong with that. And
I don't think it's simple. I think it's
right.
Easily manipulated.
Okay. So that means you can be easily manipulated then.
I can be manipulated, but not easily.
Okay, so now you're on a high horse. Like,
Well,
in
yeah.
some form of fashion, you see yourself as like inferior, that
No.
you cannot be manipulated.
Superior.
You could be either one.
I see myself as superior to most.
Well, okay, but you know why you believe that? Because you've been brainwashed.
Maybe.
Exactly. But see, it's your job to figure out. That's your job, right?
Mm-hmm.
It'd be ridiculous to argue about those things. That's the point you'll always hear me come across to say. It's not worth arguing. That's the point. It ain't worth it. It is your responsibility. And when I say you're perplexing, I'm not saying you right now. I'm literally figuratively whoever. It's up to you to figure out what is real, right?
Yeah.
So with that being said, yeah, we'll probably talk about harnessing emotions tomorrow. Let me see. Man, what's taking so long for this thing to... Anyway, what's up?
Hey, so me and my family, we went to a Chinese buffet and it was 10,000 square feet. Yeah.
Hold on, bro. Don't start that again. Did you go ask them how big? Did you go ask them the square footage of this place?
No, but you could Google it.
Wait, Dre.
Chinese buffet.
Dre, ask him to prove it. If you don't, I will. Ask him to prove it.
Hold on, let me ask Perplexing. Hey, Perplexing, would you say that 10,000 square feet buffet? Hold on, Flip. Was this what kind of food was this again?
Chinese.
Chinese.
Impressive.
Chinese. Okay, Perplexing, would you say if you walked into a Chinese restaurant, I'm talking about a 10,000 square foot, would you say that'd be a big buffet, 10,000 square feet?
Like a big buffet or a big,
The
establishment.
mental
that
gymnastics, bro, is amazing this
a
morning.
buffet.
But
Is that
no,
what the buffet is?
buffet.
Like the food.
Yeah, buffet.
platter?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's massive.
Yeah. See? Told y'all. It's big.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Bro,
Chinese
let's not get
buffets
this
are not
started
supposed to
again.
be 10,000 square feet. Huh?
Try it.
What?
Let's not get this.
What?
You said 25,000 square feet. Let's get
Bro, it's
some
called
records straight.
sarcasm. It's called sarcasm. What is the deal with so hard? Bro, if
God.
somebody said, listen, man, I'm
Exaggeration.
gonna say this again, man. I'm gonna say this again. If I tell someone in Texas, bro, I went to this buffet, man, that thing was like 25,000 square feet, bro, they're not gonna be like, what? 25, bro, they already know. All I'm trying to say is it's big. That they know that already around here, bro.
Yeah, I'd scale it down
That's all
to
I'm
about
saying.
10,000.
Yeah, okay. Well, because the place was like 12,000. It wasn't literally 25,000. Dre was like, "There's no way." I'm like, "Well, bro, it was big." And so he looks it up and it's like 12,000. And I'm just saying the perfect actual size means no difference to me. I've never seen a Chinese buffet as big as the one that I was at. This place was enormous. Flip, are you sure this thing was 10,000 square feet, or are you just being sarcastic?
No. I'm serious. It's
Where
10,000
where
square footage
where at?
out here in Dago, Mission Valley.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. That's massive, dude. I bet they
Quality
have
or
like,
quantity, though?
dude,
What's more important?
That's a lot of MSG right there.
a lot of MSG. Yeah,
Wow.
no doubt. A lot of MSG. Yeah,
Okay.
but to go back to what I was saying, real quick, it is very important to see and understand that when someone is testifying, and again, based on the Bible, when someone is testifying of something that happened, it's not uncommon for it to be mocked. It's just not. Someone can say, this person's eyes were open or they were descaled, within the hour, and it's, the mockery is going to occur. It just, the Bible makes it clear that the mockery is going to happen. And so to not know that that mockery is going to happen, it makes no sense, because it's very clear that as soon as someone starts testifying of a biblical truth, they're going to get mocked. Like that's, it's just, it's just true, period, But
Now, would you say this try? Would you say like I
uh,
know that Jesus said like a prophet is not a prophet in his own land. Would you say that sometimes there's certain things that you just, no matter how hard you try, you just can't show your own family because they're just too familiar with you? Like they just is that a thing? Because I feel like
no, it's the carnal mind, right? So if you've been around someone your whole life, your carnal mind, I'll give you an example. The
Pardon me?
Rock. The Rock is actually a decent, maybe not the best example, but it's a pretty good one. The Rock was bullied growing up, and I guarantee you to this day, a person that has bullied the Rock, when they get next to him, they don't see the Rock as the Rock, bro. They see him as that little snot-nosed kid they used to slap around. You understand?
I don't agree.
Okay, you're saying, so then that means you have to be 100% correct then.
Disagree.
Hey, perplex. Let me say this. I already know you don't agree. You don't have to say it. Let me ask
I
you
don't
this.
have to be right either.
bro, the
No, well,
mental
let me ask.
gymnastics is crazy this
Hey,
morning, bro. What's
perplex.
going
Hey,
on,
perplex.
perplex?
Hold on a second. Hey, perplex. Let me ask you this. Are you saying that in the scenario with the Rock and a bully, are you saying 100%? You're saying that every one of those bullies are going to look at the Rock like everybody else? That's what you're saying? Every one of them, 100%?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay, good. Okay, because for a minute there, I thought that. This is what I'm saying. We're not talking about 100% perplex. I'm saying that it does happen, brother. Trust me. I've seen it in my own hometown. I've seen where someone played NFL football, and they come back home, and there's people that used to pick on them, and they still treat them the same way. So you can disagree all you want, but I've seen it with my own eyes. So it does happen that when someone is around people when they're young, it happens in families. I know people that left home, bro, they came back, they're a doctor. There is no one in their family that even went to college, and they still get treated the same. And I am referring to people that kind of used to like, I don't want to say physically abuse them, but mentally abuse, just mess with them when they're a kid. They come home. Those people don't respect them. They didn't go get all these degrees and come back and all of a sudden their whole family respected them. They still get treated the same by these people. Do you
Doesn't
not
mean they
understand
don't
what
respect
I'm,
them, though.
so let me ask you this, Perplex. You've never seen that happen?
Oh, I have, yeah.
Okay, good. So we're in agreement. Good. Okay. So the point I'm
saying the
making is,
majority, though.
well,
Yeah.
either way, we're in agreement. That's all that matters. So let me say this. So obviously, there is always going to be, I don't care if it's one person, two people, there are always going to be someone that was involved in your life that they can't get past who you were. They can't get past it. So it's no different with children. There are parents that they just don't see their kid as like this phenomenal thing. Now, other parents, they may, but especially when it's in like, how do you say it, where there's a chance that there is this competition, right? So if you have a mother, I'm just bringing up a mother, and let's just say she is a clothes designer, and the daughter comes behind her and starts designing clothes. Her daughter could end up being more like known, okay, by people or by the world. But all those situations aren't always perfect. There will always be one of these mothers that will always talk down on the product that the daughter is making, but the daughter is way more successful than the mother, but she'll still talk down about her work. And so it's so true. It happens very often, as a matter of fact. So, so with that being said, every human, I don't care who you are, unless you're been living under a rock, you have seen, and matter of fact, you have been in awe on like, wait a minute, bro, like this person is way more successful. Why is your parent or your family member treat you like this? Why? And you know, that person is going to have to be up front and explain exactly why they do it. They could be jealous. We can go through all the reasons. They can be jealous. They can be someone who just doesn't believe, or maybe they don't understand why everybody likes what you do because they don't. It could be narcissistic. They could just be a narcissist.
Or they
You
could just
never
know you
all
on a
the
deeper
detail.
level.
Whatever it is. But here we go again, right? Who is Jesus? Before you know it, the whole room will be arguing about who Jesus is. So don't be a fool and argue. That's the point that I'm making. Stop trying to figure out and perplexing. I'm not talking about you. I'm saying figurative, whoever. Stop wasting your time trying to figure out who can I argue with next. That is a fool mentality. You are a complete fool. Go do something with your life. Don't worry about trying to figure out who do I argue with next. And I'm saying that because what Dre brought up is exactly what people do. That instead of seeing and understanding what the person is saying, they just want to argue about what they're saying. And you can easily do it to a family member. You can easily do it to a friend that you went to high school with. And now all of a sudden they're doing very well. And then now you have this bitter attitude towards them. That's funny because when you were talking, let's just say it's in building houses, okay, building them. Let's say your friend, he's a multimillionaire and he builds houses. That's what he does for a living. But you don't mind having a 2-hour conversation with a stranger that you've never met. You could talk to him for 2 hours about how he builds houses. Oh, but the friend you went to high school with, no, you don't want to talk to him about it. I shouldn't have to tell you what that is. There is this, our carnal mind is no joke, man. It is a monster. And it will do this to even you. Even you can treat people this way if you're not careful. That because you used to know them in high school, you don't want to recognize their accomplishments. Or you don't want to recognize them teaching you something because in the back of your head, they're just this little snot-nosed kid that I used to know when I was, and they did the same thing to Jesus. They said, isn't that just the carpenter's son?
Or maybe they were
this guy?
envious of him too.
Well, again, who is Jesus, right? Who is Jesus? Yeah, I think I think the agreement though is it doesn't matter the reason it happens. It doesn't matter what the specific reason is. It just doesn't matter. What matters is to know that it does happen and to be ready when it does, because it is going to happen to you. I don't care, one person. Now, if you never accomplish a thing and you could care less and you go live under a bridge or go live under a rock and you never talk to another human again, that's your choice. But if you don't live under a rock and you become a productive citizen, I'm not saying perfect. I've never yet, trust me. I've not met a perfect person yet. So it's not about being perfect, but I'm just saying being productive. I don't care if you're licking envelopes $500 a knot, you know, and you know, and I don't care what it is, sweeping the streets. What does it matter? All the jobs are needed. Okay, if that street sweeper wasn't needed, then they wouldn't be paying them to sweep the street. All the jobs are needed, right, for everything to go round and round. So, but if you choose to be productive person in society and do something, then you are going to see this take place. You will, 100%. You know, I don't care if you work at Pizza Hut and you didn't grow up with this person, but you work at Pizza Hut, and then your buddy ends up being the manager. Oh, now all of a sudden you don't respect them. Excuse me, you don't respect them because y'all used to steal pizzas together. So now we don't respect that guy anymore. So to me, he's not my manager. He's y'all's manager. Okay, well, you'll be fired pretty quick. that don't ever work. That don't ever work. I don't care what the chain of command is. It never works. That's why in the military, as soon as you get promoted to a sergeant, you get moved. They don't keep you on your peers. And if they do, and somebody finds out, there's going to be some demotion. There's going to be some issues. The whole point is to keeping, this principle is cleaned away from the rest of the dirty stack, if you will. This truth in the military is that way for a reason. As soon as someone gets promoted, it's already known there's going to be one or two friends that are not going to listen to this sergeant. So instead of dealing with those issues, they move the sergeant. Now the sergeant goes to these privates who doesn't know them, okay, who never hung out with them and acted like a fool before he became a sergeant, because it's the rank, not the person. It's the rank that's going to be respected, not the person. It doesn't matter if you used to hang out with them before they became a sergeant or not. Now that they're a sergeant, you respect the rank, but the people are too immature to do that. So what they do is they move the sergeant. Guess what? These privates, they don't know this person. You know what they do? They automatically respect them. And it's the carnal mind. Our carnal mind is very prideful. Our carnal mind is, and again, we talked about spirit, soul, and body this past week. And we already went over that it's our body that does these things. It's our body that does it. It's not your soul. It's not your spirit. It's your soul that is choosing to either listen to what your body is saying, or your soul is choosing to listen to what the spirit is saying. But again, it's your choice. You choose. It is your job to figure out what part is doing what and which one you're going to listen to more often. That's up to you. So, so Dre, basically,
I think that's
his question. Go ahead.
I think that's the reason too, Trout, why I've noticed in like the Christian world, they criticize a lot of pastors, and the majority of the time, not always, but the majority of the time, is simply because that pastor has gotten somewhere where the other person did not. And it has to do with putting in hard work, man. Reading your scriptures, putting in the hard work. It just doesn't happen overnight. It takes work and effort. But back to the original conversation, 100%, bro. Like I was talking to my mom for the longest, bro. And you reiterated in a lot of ways the same thing. It's just the way that you were able to do it. She was actually listening. I could tell at first at the end. At first, her body language is like, "Oh my God, here we go again. He doesn't get it."
Yeah. See, I'm not there. I wasn't there to see all that, but I can tell you right now, I already knew she was doing that. Now, I don't know if she was squirming or anything like that, but I already knew. Like when
listen,
you were like,
I know body language pretty well, bro. At one point. And I know my mom more than anything else, too. But at one point, bro, she sat back in her chair and crossed her arms and crossed her leg. Like, all right, go ahead, young buck. Go ahead, keep talking. I'm about to get you. And then I'm telling her the same thing. I'm like, Mom, so, bro, if God said, that's what I was trying to tell him. God said,
yeah,
do not eat. You think God lied? Like, I don't understand this, Mom. Like, how do you, but it's good that no, it's not. It's not good. He said, do not eat. God does not lie, bro. And so then she went to Job 42:11 and the whole Job 42:11 and God. the whole evil that
Yeah.
God gave and took back. And I'm like, oh, God give it to God, take it away. Here we go.
Hey, hey, y'all! To speak on what y'all was talking about being mocked and all that. When you tell somebody a biblical truth that may not just be written in a way that is expressly written, but what you're telling them, but they'll mock you because they can't see the spirit. And it's not a coincidence if you go to Genesis 21:8. Dre, you remember we broke that verse down where it was talking about Isaac being weaned and he grew, and
Oh, yeah. Oh,
in the
yeah.
very next verse, Ishmael mocked him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. 100%,
Yeah.
bro. I'm telling you. And that's why a lot of these lives, bro, I stopped going to these lives, man, honestly. If I see one of you guys, like some of my D-Scale family on these panels, I might go up and hang out with you guys for a little bit. But the reality is it's only 2 lives outside of this one that I actually go to because it's crazy, bro. The level of, I don't even want to talk about it. I'm just going to leave it there. I don't even want to talk about it, bro.
So I agree
Yeah.
that God doesn't lie, but where we get our source of what God's word is, I think may be lied about.
Great.
You think he lied about what? What'd you say, Perplex? He lied about what?
No, he said God doesn't lie, but the people that wrote it did, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, again, you know,
My brother says
it's
that
kind of
same
like,
thing.
hey, my bad, Perplexing. Give me a second. Hebrews, what is going on, man?
What's up, man? My brother says that same thing. So my question for him is then, how do you know Jesus is true? Because you only see him in the Bible that he doesn't trust because it was manipulated.
I don't think that everything in the Bible is a lie. I kind of use my own, what I feel to be true, and I just apply it. But yeah, I think God's truth is spoken through our Holy Spirit within us, not necessarily what's written in the book completely.
Yeah. Hey, Perplex, I probably should have asked you this. Are you a Christian, or are you just someone who's trying to figure some things out, or what?
Yeah, I'm not quite a Christian, but I do.
Yeah.
I believe in Jesus. I have troubles believing he was God. But
So you're a
Yeah.
Mormon. You're a Mormon, right? Right?
no,
Perplex?
I'm not religious.
You're not religious at all?
Well, I'm very invested in all religions.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, like, is there a particular denomination that if you
No.
were to claim something to give someone an idea on how you see certain things, do you claim anything at all? Or are you just a human being that just reads religious books or something?
Yeah, I would say I choose what I believe is to be true from every single religion. I don't think any of them are fully
Yeah.
accurate.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's just where you are in your walk. So how long would you say you've been on the religious journey of yours here?
My entire life.
How old are you? What does that mean, entire life?
Well, since I was, let's say, 5, and I'm 34.
5. Okay, so we'll say 5. Okay, so it's been approximately 30 years. So for approximately 30 years, you've been dabbling in religious talk, right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, all right, man. Well, you can come here whenever you want, bro. Whenever you want, you can come up here and hang out. No big deal. We ain't doing no tripping here. Just remember, we don't argue or debate on here. I might go a circle with you once, and I tell this to everybody that comes up here. We don't do that here. There's like 5,000 lives that anybody at any given time, they can go into those wrestling rings. You can wrestle all day, I promise. And if you a little bit more, what's the word? Humor. They even have them where it's more like a Jerry Springer show and everybody's yelling. So either way, it's debating and fighting. I don't see that edifying at all. But if you believe that that'd be somewhere you feel more comfortable with, bro, I promise they're there. You can argue till you're blue in the face, right? But here, on this live, we don't do that. We don't argue and debate. We just talk about the word. We teach the word, and whether people believe it or not, that's up to them to believe it or not believe it, right? So just so you know, because I didn't mention that earlier. Jessica, I read your comment just now. I'm sorry. Dang, I lost it, dude. Here it is. So I got confused this morning again. Someone said we don't sin after being saved, but I sinned just yesterday. Well, I'm not sure who you spoke to about that, because so it confused me. Okay, so your spirit doesn't sin. So when people say that you don't sin after you're saved, you have to ask them, like, what do they mean? Like, what do you mean? Like, I don't sin in the flesh as an action, like that kind of sin. You have to ask them, what are you saying? Don't sin? Because there's people, when they hear the word sin, all they think about is you doing something bad. That's all they think about. Again, they think that because they don't understand that there's two sins in the Bible. The Bible is so clear about this. There's two. If your spirit is dead and you have not been born again, you are in sin, meaning a noun, person, place, or a thing, that kind of sin. That's you're in it. Don't you understand? You're it. You are sin. And then if you go steal something, you're sinning, okay? Meaning as an action, a verb. Paul makes this very clear in the book of Romans. Of course, if people would read their Bible more, they would understand this, but they don't. But again, 39 times the word sin is being used in the book of Romans, and only one time is Paul talking about a verb, a verb. That's why it's important to make an A in fifth grade. If you didn't, Paul at me, but it is important for us to understand the difference between nouns and verbs. It's very important because Paul was an educated man, and that's what Paul wrote. He made sure that people understood what he was saying, that out of the 39 times that the derivatives of sin is used, whether it's sin, sinning, sinned, sins, plural, no matter which one he used, it's only used 39 times. And 38 out of the 39, Paul is using a noun. A noun. And if you don't understand what Paul is saying, then the only thing you understand or hear when you hear the word sin is an action, a verb. So, Jessica, it sounds like to me that you're confusing the two because you said, I sinned yesterday. Okay, fine. So you sin an action, meaning you either you either lied, you told something. Again, I'm not trying to point out the sin. It doesn't matter. I get the point you're making. But the point is, your flesh obviously can still commit actions of sin. I mean, God, it's a no-brainer. Duh. But your spirit is no longer sin, because your spirit is the same spirit that resurrected Jesus from the dead. Before, the reason you were a sinner is not because of the actions. It was because your spirit was dead. But now we have life because we have been quickened and we've been sealed with the Holy Spirit of promise. Therefore, we have to come to a conclusion that if the same spirit that resurrected Jesus from the dead, I'm going to say that that's not a sinful spirit, okay? Now, of course, people can debate that, but you can go debate somewhere else about that. But the point is, the spirit that resurrected Jesus from the dead, that same spirit resides in you. Therefore, you, that part of you, the perfect you, doesn't sin. It's your flesh that sins as an action. It still can commit actions of sin, but you are no longer sin itself. Noun. The verb that Paul is referring to, those things can still occur, obviously, but your nucleus, the root of you, is good. You have to understand this. The root, if you were a tree, which we are, spiritual trees, you have to understand, and you have to hurry up as fast as you can to get again, this is why spirit, soul, and body is so important. You have to understand the three parts. Your spirit is perfect. Your soul is either going to listen to what the spirit says so you don't commit an action verb of sin, or you can listen to your flesh that is going to get you to come into agreement to commit an action of sin. So the Bible makes it very clear that we don't sin, and it's talking about the Spirit. So when you confuse the two, then that's why you're confused, is because you're still not understanding the difference between your spirit and your flesh. In the Bible, I'm telling you right now, the Bible makes it very clear, for those who are saved no longer sin. And it's talking about you, the noun. God is not looking at you as a sinner. It also tells us that our body is dead. Don't you? You have to understand that God is not focusing on your physical performance. He's focusing on Jesus's performance, not yours. So when people say that, they go, "Oh, well, you can just go do whatever you." The only reason that you would ask that question is because you yourself are not familiar with the Bible. Because nowhere am I saying go do what you want. I don't care what it sounds like. That's not what the Bible teaches. But anytime someone asks that question, they give themselves away. The problem is you are not familiar with the Bible. You don't understand what it says. And when you're listening to someone explain it, the reason you'll argue with them is because you are not understanding what you're reading in the Bible. So you're just going around arguing with everybody, and you don't have to. The Bible is there. Go read it. We don't have to argue with everybody. It's there. Just do yourself a service, pick it up, and start understanding what it says. So let me see. Yes, as soon as you said Spirit doesn't sin, I need to stand firm. Yeah, Jessica, don't worry about it. Trust me. You know, you're gonna understand it. It's no big deal. You know, the Bible is a good brainwasher. I'm glad Perplexing said that, because it is a good brainwasher. It literally cleanses you just like it claims that it does. So there is such thing as bad brainwashing, like, you know, allowing Adolf Hitler to make you believe you need to go unalive everybody. That's a bad brainwash. And then there's a good brainwash. But you know what? It's your job to figure out which one's good for you. So the Bible makes it clear that it is the word that cleanses us. So obviously it washes your brain clean. The Bible says, don't be conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by what? By the renewing of your mind. The Bible literally is telling you that you need to be brainwashed, but not in the negative way that people use brainwashing today. You need to be brainwashed. Your problem is the way that you think. I tell people all the time, if where you are in life, it's real simple. Stand up, look at your feet, geographical location, okay? I'm talking geographical location. If you don't like where you are, well, that's your fault. Now, there are sad circumstances that occur. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking, if we're being honest with ourselves, if you have put yourself in a bad predicament, you need to be honest with yourself and say, I don't like where I am. Well, guess what? The only way you are where you are is because of the way you think. So if you want to change where you are, you need to change the way you think. So I'm telling you right now, a brainwashing is a good thing if it's needed. Okay? If you have been taught to be a criminal your whole life and it's good to steal and that's all you need to do, my friend, you need some brainwashing. Someone messed you up. It is not okay to just steal from everybody all you want until you just decide to stop. Right now, you're needing some help and you need some brainwashing. And the Bible makes it clear that it cleanses you. Okay? Be not conformed to this world, be you transform. How? By the renewing of your mind, meaning you need to change the way you think, period. Your problem is your little peanut brain. So the problem is right between your ears. Right between your ears is the problem. And it is your job to change that. So if either you're going to allow someone to brain the proper way, or you can just keep your stinking thinking until the world kicks your butt so much that you're going to have to bend a knee. But it's up to you. So either bend a knee or don't. The choice is yours. I'll tell you this. If you're doing so amazing in your life, then you don't need advice from anybody. But if you ain't doing amazing, you might want to start taking some advice from someone who is. And we're not talking about perfect, okay? So, it's funny. David in the Bible, horrible story. I say this all the time. I will continue to say, bro, the dude's life. Hold on a second. What is that noise? Oh. Sorry about that. Hold on. All right. Well, anyway, I'll just say this. Look, if David was alive today, there would be people that would say, I'm not listening to him. You ask her, why not? Bro, this man had sex with a woman that was married, had a baby with her, and then he tried to get the husband to believe that it was his baby. He tried to get the husband to believe it was his baby. And that didn't work, so he put him in the front line of war to get him murdered, to get him killed at battle. You tell me today, who's going to take advice from David? Actually, that's actually a good question. On the panel, hey, perplexing, would you take advice from this man, this kind of a man?
No.
No. Okay. But David wrote a lot of the Psalms. And then, of course, people say, well, he wrote the whole thing, which I understand. Fine. Well, let's just say David wrote the whole Psalms, okay? So does that mean we need to stop reading the Bible? Because if we keep going with that, then we can't read none of Psalms.
We can read it.
What do you think? Huh?
We can read it, but maybe not, take the advice.
Well, what would be the point of reading it then? Because a fool wrote it, right? Isn't this a foolish man?
Yes.
So we shouldn't read it then, right?
No.
No? So we're gonna read what fools write down. So
Yeah.
Okay, let me ask you this. What would be the point of reading it then? If we're not going to take his advice, why would we read it?
Understand the mind of a fool.
That's the only reason? So you don't already understand a mind of a fool? You have to learn more about a fool?
Yeah, sure. You can learn something through a fool's mind.
Well, okay, give me an example. Give me an example of someone you think of that's a complete imbecile, but yet you can still learn something from them. Can you think of one, just one example, other than David? You can't use David. That's cheating.
Well, you can learn how a fool may think so you can avoid being tricked or manipulated by one.
Okay, so you can learn something from a fool, right? All right, so it shouldn't have to be proven. All of us know that there is not one person in this world that hasn't done something foolish. The people do not exist. So when you tell someone you've done foolish things in your life, and because of that, I cannot listen to you, the truth is, then you can't listen to nobody, man. I'm sorry. Just based on that logic alone, you can't listen to anyone. What you're doing is you're picking and choosing who to listen to. That's fine. That's fair. But the people that you're saying you're not going to listen to, you may be wrong. You may be wrong saying I'm not going to listen to. I'll listen to these 12 or these, but that 1, 2, or 3 people, I'm not listening to anything they have to say. If that's the case, then you can't even read the Bible itself. The only thing you can read is and let me say, there are people that do this. They only read the red letters in the New Testament. They're like, no, I just want to know what Jesus said. That's it. That's all they'll read. If you haven't met one, just be alive long enough. You'll meet one. Well, they'll literally tell you that Jesus, he's the only thing that I'll listen to. And then you go, okay, well, man wrote those words down. So now watch this. Here we go back. So man wrote those words down. And then now they have to convince you, well, yeah, but the Spirit and all we're doing is we're going in circles again. So it comes back down to this. It is up to you what you read. It is up to you how you're discerning what these people are saying. It's all up to you. The choice is yours, right? God even says, I set before you life and death. And then he gives you the answer. Choose life. So the choice is yours. You can go learn something from someone or you cannot. Real simple. It's not hard. But guys, it is already 10 o'clock. Anybody on the panel got something to say except for perplexing? Perplexing me and you seem like we had a whole conversation. Hebrews, what's up, man? Being quiet, bro.
Yeah, what's going on? Just letting you guys talk. I remember, I don't know, maybe a week ago or so, you said you were doing some training for another family member for the police.
What about it?
Well, I got two things for you.
Oh, yeah.
So,
oh, man.
Well, yeah.
What?
Now, this is a couple you can use on them during the training. So,
okay.
Why did the coffee go to the police?
Why did the coffee go to the police? Coffee. Brew, coffee, caffeine. Why did the coffee?
Because the donut ran out.
Because the donut ran out?
Can I answer?
Yeah, hey guys, everybody on the panel can answer, by the way. So,
because he got mugged.
Let's go. He got mugged.
Because he got mugged. Oh, Bubba. Hey, let me say this. First of all, Benny, I'm not saying you Googled it. I don't want anyone to assume that. Hey, anytime Hebrews or somebody brings a joke, man, please don't go to Google. If you can't figure it out, just be quiet, man, okay? Look, it's not that serious. It's just fun when you can actually figure out what the joke is, all right? So it's not about who gets them right, man. I get like 1 out of 15 right anyway because he got mugged. I don't care.
Now, if you'd have said, why did the police go to the coffee? I'd have said, because it was black.
Oh,
oh,
oh man.
Oh, man. Benny's like, but I can say that because I'm black.
I'm black people, so I can say that exactly.
Yeah, that was incredible. Yeah, Benny's like, hey, by the way, if y'all don't know, I'm black. Calm down, red pen down. Calm down. What's up?
Well, and can I say this one? If that's the case, if I said that, then maybe I would have been mugged.
Yeah. Oh, you would have been mugged 100%. 100%.
All right. So here's the next one for you that you can use on it. So what did the police officer say to the belly button?
What did the police officer say to the belly button? Hole, what you got? No, hold on. Hole, sea, dark, deep, lint. Oh, what did the police? You said what?
Look at Mike's background picture.
Mike?
Let me see your ring.
Oh man, bro.
That's man.
Yep.
Yeah, that's He-Man, bro. Heck yeah.
Oh, you got it. You got to say it. Man.
Oh man, now you can't. Hey man, He-Man didn't talk like that, bro. You better leave He-Man alone, man.
Michael Jackson's face is on him, bro. Come on.
What? Michael Jackson's face is on him. Hold on. Well, hey, hold on. Let me bring it closer. I got it way over there. Hold on. Let me see. Oh my God, Mike, really, bro? Oh.
Hey, what? Hey, did he say?
Bro, that's hilarious.
Yeah, my bad, bro. It's like, hold on a second, real quick. It's like, I don't know, 2-3 feet away from me. I just glanced up. I could tell the body and hair is He-Man.
Michael Jackson's face.
I had no idea that. Mike, why did you put Michael Jackson's face?
That's too funny.
Because he wanted somebody to say hee.
Yes. On the top of it says he man on it, but you can't see that part of it.
So this is for,
I can't see that part.
This is for
hold on. Matter of fact, let me stick it up. Let me stick it up there. Hold on a second. Let me see.
Cool.
Oh, okay, there it is.
Okay,
bro, that hurt. Hey, bro, that hurts, man. That hurts.
I think. Hey, honestly, I think that's awesome. I think that's awesome.
That's funny.
I didn't make
I'm not gonna lie. It's funny. Yeah, but no, that was my. I mean, dude, that was my man, bro. Growing up, that was my toy, bro. He used to destroy all the Ninja Turtles by himself. You hear me? But anyway, Okay, so what did
So the
hey
joke
Hebrews? Did you
for some
say what did the police say
yeah.
or
So what
cops?
did the police officer say to the belly button?
Belly button. All right,
Get on your
anybody got a
stomach.
guess?
Get on your stomach.
No, where's your ring? I don't know. Belly button rings? I don't know. Where's your ring?
This goes hand in hand with police officer training.
All right, go ahead. I don't think anybody's gonna guess it.
You're under a
Yeah.
vest.
You're under
No, bro.
That's
You're under a vest. Oh my lord. Oh man. Lord have mercy.
So that could be just
Uh,
something that you do during the training. As you're pulling your vest down, you could like in front of them just look at your belly button and be like, "Yo, belly button, you're under a vest,"
You're
and
under
then
a
pull your vest
vest.
down.
Oh my lord. Yeah, you know, a lot of people see
I
that.
think Hebrews
A lot of
got too
people
much
see
time on
those
his
jokes
hands.
as well, a lot of people see those jokes as, you know, silly, and I'm telling you, man, dad jokes, they really are the best jokes, man. I don't care who you are, they really are. They're clean, they're not always, you know, serious, you know, they're silly, and sometimes people take life a little too serious, you know. So,
Black
but if
coffee
anybody
joke
else
was
got some,
hilarious.
do what?
The black coffee joke was hilarious.
Oh no, man, that was a good one. That one was. You should have gave us the black coffee joke second.
That was a good one.
Yeah, do the.
That one was.
Speaking of coffee,
Uh oh, somebody's
second.
echoing.
so speaking of coffee,
Hebrews.
Hey, Hebrews, your Bluetooth or something that you have on is causing a weird echo. I don't know exactly, so I muted you just so you can try to fix that because it was like coming in pretty crazy.
yeah, it was a phone call that came through that caused
Oh,
it. So I
okay.
just swiped down on the screen and backed it
Oh,
up.
okay.
So
Cool.
speaking of coffee jokes and stuff, did you ever come to the light yet?
All right, so so check it out. Freddie, 2-a-day. Yes, by the way, Freddie, yes, we are having a 2-a-day today. That's going to be at probably 5 o'clock. Yeah, so let's do 5 o'clock Central Time. 5 o'clock Central Time. We're doing a 2-a-day. Freddie, thanks for bringing that up. Yeah, so I had one of my brothers. I had my sister-in-law look this up, and so we all came to a conclusion. So, okay, so we read, by the way, if you didn't know I was going to do this, we read a lot of articles about this, okay, a lot. And it is not 100% proven, okay? It is not, listen, I understand that there was a couple of articles that said it's a fact, but there's a whole bunch of others that say that it's not. So here's the conclusion that I've come up with. It is very possible that a light roast coffee could have more caffeine. It is very possible. Whether it's a fact or not, I just can't. I don't know, man. It's still up in the air, but it's not a false statement to make as far as like it's a possibility, or as far as it's not wrong to repeat it, because there are people that say, like, I mean, lots of people actually that own coffee businesses that, you know, they're like coffee connoisseurs, if you want to go there. But I've done a lot of research on it so far, and man, it's very possible. You know, there was one that was talking about, it was even breaking it down, the humidity, you know, not just how hot it is, but whether or not the sunlight is directly hitting the bean, or there's even people that stick it in rooms. Some of the coffees made in these rooms where there's a lot of fire, and they dry them out using fire, and the sun doesn't even touch them. And as soon as they get dry, a lot of these beans are light. They're still light color. And so the sun, the sun wasn't scorching on them. So I read all the articles. I just don't see 100% clear. I'm not saying it's not true. And you know what? There may have been something that I didn't read that I should have. I don't know. But I have to bend my knee on this one. I think it is very possible that a light roast could have more caffeine in it. It's possible. So that's kind of where I'm at. And but other than that, guys, yeah, go ahead, because we're about to hop off.
All right, I got
Hebrews,
one for Jesse. Then
Jesse,
that's it.
Jesse, you hear that?
Oh no,
Oh,
I'll do it another day.
All right, do it another day. No big deal. Guys, anybody else got anything to say before we hop off?
God
Anybody?
bless. There's now
God
no
bless.
condemnation for those who are in Christ.
That's right. That's right. So, guys, 5 o'clock Central Time. 5 o'clock Central Time. We will see y'all here in a little bit. God bless. Have a good one.